Shalom, everyone. Thank you for coming back for another study through the book of Job with me. We're going to pick it up from where we left off in chapter 13 last week. If you guys remember, Job is going through some stuff right now. He is having a discourse back and forth between his friends that are with him, and he's obviously going through a rough time, understandably so. So anyways, let's pick it back up from chapter 13. I'm reading from the TS 2009, if you'd like to follow along. Look, my eye has seen it all. My ear has heard and understood it. What you know, I know too. I am not less than you. But I would speak to the Almighty, and I delight to reason with El. But you smear with falsehood, worthless healers, all of you. If you would only be silent, then it would be your wisdom. Please hear my reasoning and listen to the plead of my lips. Would you speak perversely of El and speak deceit for him? Would you be partial towards him? Would you plead for El? Would it be well when he searches you out? Or could you deceive him as one deceives a man? He would certainly reprove you if you secretly show partiality. Remember, that's a big thing all throughout the Bible. He shows no partiality. He is no respecter of persons. And we are supposed to show no partiality in our judgments, in our rendering of the scriptures, and what is right and wrong in the world. Now, the reason I bring that up is because a lot of people don't realize that if mainstream doctrine in Christianity is true, then the Most High would have to show partiality, because they believe in different dispensations, right? Like, oh, we're in the dispensation of grace now, but those people before, they weren't, right? So he would have to show partiality if he has different rules for different people at different times. And that's just not what the Bible says. So that's the reason I bring that up. But I digress. Verse 10, he would certainly reprove you if you secretly show partiality. Should not his excellence make you afraid, and the dread of him fall upon you? Your weighty sayings and proverbs of ashes, your shields are shields of clay. Be silent before me, and let me speak, and let whatever come upon me. Why do I take my flesh in my teeth and put my life in my hands? Though he kills me, in him I expect, but I show my ways to be right before him. He also is my deliverance, for a defiled one does not come before him. Right? And that's very interesting as well. If we look in, I want to say it's in 2 Corinthians, possibly in 1 Corinthians as well. It talks about how nothing unclean will go before the Most High. And this is why laws that Christianity as a whole has painted as not important, not a big deal, not really a sin, like the dietary laws. They say that stuff about laws, but that's not what God says in the Bible. The Most High clearly tells us that what you eat can make you defiled, can make you abominable and unworthy to enter into his presence. Why do you think the Most High gave these laws? It wasn't arbitrary. It wasn't like, oh, before you come in my presence, do this, 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 and this. Like, he wasn't just saying it to say it. It's because literally darkness and light can't exist in the same space. Like, I truly believe we will be destroyed. It wouldn't even be like necessarily Yah destroying us, but his presence, his light, it would just destroys the darkness, right? So if we come before him defiled, there's nothing good waiting for that. And again, like mainstream Christianity will say that, sex can defile your body, that drugs and alcohol can defile your body, but they don't think that food can defile your body. I mean, it's certainly not what the scriptures say. So the scriptures clearly tell us all throughout that what you eat can defile you. That's Old and New Testament, right? In Acts 15, of the 4 laws that James, leader of the church, said that they have to make sure they are following, 3 of them were dietary. So again, if you can defile your body with sex and drugs and alcohol, why wouldn't you be able to defile your body with what you eat? And for those of you that haven't gone 3 days without eating, you'll figure out what I mean real quick. And then you'll see throughout Paul's letters, I believe it is in Philippians where he says that their God is their belly, right? It's the food. They want their food. They want what their flesh wants, So you can most certainly defile yourself with what you eat. Make no mistake, that's what the Bible says. It's not my opinion. Anyways, let's continue on. Let's read back from verse 16. He also is my deliverance, for a defiled one does not come before him, right? And we remain undefiled by keeping his laws in the Torah to the best of our ability. Listen closely to my word, and with your ears to what I say. Look, please, I've prepared my case. I know that I am in the right. Who is he who would strive with me? For then I would keep silent and die. Only two matters do not do to me. Then I am not hidden from your face. Withdraw your hand far from me, and let not dread of you make me afraid. Then call, and let me answer, or let me speak, and you reply to me. How many of my crookednesses and sins let me know my transgression and my sin. You know what? This is very similar to what we just went through in our Psalms line-by-line study. David was saying stuff very, very similar to this, and that makes perfect sense because these men have a heart for the Most High, and the attributes and how they conduct themselves remains the same throughout all of time. Noah, a righteous man, conducted himself in obedience because of his faith. Abraham did the same thing. Job did the same thing. David did the same thing. Yeshua did the same thing. The disciples did the same thing. So again, it's reoccurring. We need to learn from the examples laid out by a few good men. And Job is one of them, and David is another one. But I find it interesting that we just read something extremely similar in our Psalm study. So anyways, verse 24, why do you hide your face and reckon me as your enemy? Would you frighten a leaf driven to and fro? And would you pursue dry stubble? For you write bitter charges against me and make me inherit the crookedness of my youth, and put my feet in the stocks and look closely to all my paths. You set a limit for the soles of my feet, and he, like that which is rotten, wastes away as a garment that is moth-eaten. Chapter 14. Man born of women is of few days and turmoil filled. We see that all throughout the scriptures. Again, bringing back Psalms, talks about how men are appointed for sorrows. You see that all over, even in the hidden messages in the names. We've been going through those a lot on our line-by-line studies on the Sabbath and Tuesday nights on YouTube. You get them the next day. But those name studies that we've been going through in the Torah, all the names, I have yet to find one that fails to give us a very interesting message that lends credibility to not only the New Testament and Yeshua being the Messiah, but just our walk in obedience and faith. But it says that man is appointed mortal sorrow in many of these hidden messages. And I mean, that makes sense. Look at the world around us. Like, there's no such thing as a perfect life. There's no such thing as a life free from sorrow. And it's just for reasons that are honestly beyond our understanding. We can sit here and we can speculate all day long. Like, I know this life is a test. I don't know why we have to go through hardships once we come to the truth and accept it. Maybe it's part of the refining process, and maybe there's stuff that we don't understand about the world beyond this one. There could very well be a reason why we have to go through all this stuff that we just cannot possibly understand right now. And that's more than likely the truth. There are mysteries of the kingdom of heaven that are hidden from us for a reason. And there are things that we are not supposed to know, or that we're supposed to figure out in due season. So there's a reason for the sorrow and for the trials and the tribulations. We just got to try and remember that when we're in the thick of it, like Job is here. So let's read from chapter 14 again. Man born of women is of few days and turmoil filled. He comes forth like a flower and withers. He flees like a shadow and does not continue. Yet on such a one you open your eyes and bring me to right rulings with yourself. Again, what are the right rulings? The Most High tells us so that we don't have to figure out what's right in our own heart and mind, which is always bad news. Verse 4. Who brings the clean out of the unclean? No one. Since his days are decided, the number of his new moons is with you. You have made his laws, and he does not pass over. Foreshadowing for the Messiah, I'm sure. Anyways, verse 6. Look away from him and let him rest, till like a hired man he enjoys his days. For there's expectancy for a tree if it is cut down. It does not, or it does, sorry, tongue twisted already. We're only 10 minutes in. All right. That it does sprout again, and that its tender branch does not cease. Though its root grows old in the earth, and its stump dies in the ground, and the scent of water, it buds and brings forth foliage like a plant. But man dies and is powerless, and man expires, and where is he? Water disappears from the sea, and a river dries up and is parched. A man shall lie down and not rise, till the heavens are no more. They awake not, nor are aroused from their sleep. If only you would hide me in Sheol, conceal me until your wrath turns away. Set for me a law and remember me. If a man dies, would he live again? All the days of my struggle I wait till my change comes. You would call, and I would answer you. You have yearned for the work of your hands. For now you count my steps. Do you not watch over my sin? My transgression is sealed up in a bag, and you cover over my crookedness. Right, again, if we want that, if we want him to cover up our crookedness, right, we need to do what he says to do. And you can find this in Ezekiel 18. I know I mentioned that chapter of the Bible a lot, but it's because a lot of people don't understand it, and it's pretty crucial to understanding how our walk works. So just go read that if you're unfamiliar with it. Verse 18. But a falling mountain crumbles away, and a rock is moved from its place, as water wears away stones. Its outpouring washes away the soil of the earth, so you have destroyed the expectancy of man. You overpower him forever, and he is gone. His face changes, and you send him away. His sons come to esteem, and he does not know it, and they are brought low, and he does not perceive it. He feels only the pain of his flesh, and he mourns over himself. Chapter 15. And Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, Would a wise man answer with vain knowledge, or fill his belly with the east wind? Would he reason with useless talk, or by speech with which do no profit? Indeed, you do away with reverence and withhold prayer before El. For your crookedness teaches your mouth what to say, and you choose the tongue of the crafty. We see that kind of stuff all over the New Testament, right? He catches the wise in their craftiness. They are wise in their own, right? On their own, they're man-made wisdom, but it's foolishness before Yah. So we don't want that tongue of the crafty. Verse 6. Not I, but your own mouth condemns you, and your own lips witness against you. Were you the first one born, or were you made before the hills? Have you heard the secret counsels of Eloah? And do you limit wisdom to yourself? What do you know that we do not know? Understand that this is not within us. Both the gray-haired and the aged are among us, both much older than your father. Are the comforts of El not enough for you? And a word that deals gently with you? All right, so remember, like, his friends kind of turn against him and are like, dude, you're doing something wrong. You have to be doing something wrong. And when Job talks back, then they have responses like this, like, what do you know that we don't know? Like, anyways, it's important to understand, going back and forth and what's going on. So I know you guys know. Just recapping. Verse 12. What have you taken to heart, and why do your eyes flash, that you should turn your spirit against El, and let such words go out of your mouth? What is man that he should be clean, and one born of a woman that he should be righteous? Look, he puts no trust in his set-apart ones, and the heavens are not clean in his eyes. How much less one who is loathsome and corrupt, drinking unrighteousness like water? Let me show you, hear me, and this I have seen and declare, which the wise declare, and have not hidden from their fathers. To them alone the land was given, and no stranger passed over into their midst. All the days of the wrong one he is painting himself, and a few years have been stored up for the ruthless. A frightening sound is in his ears. In peace a destroyer comes to him. He believes not to return from darkness, and he is reserved for the sword. He wanders about for food. Where is it? He knows that a day of darkness is prepared for him. Talks about that in Amos, about Judgment Day being a day of darkness. Distress and pain frighten him. They overwhelm him like a sovereign ready for the attack, because he has stretched out his hand against El, and acts mightily against the Almighty. He runs against him defiantly with thick bossed shields, for he has covered his face with his fatness, and he has put layers of fat on his loins. But he dwells in ruined cities and houses which no one lives in, which have been ready to become heaps. He shall not be rich, and his wealth shall not rise, and his possessions shall not overspread the earth. He does not turn away from darkness. The flame dries up his branches, and he turns aside from the breath of his mouth. Let him not trust in falsehood, deceiving himself, for falsehood is his reward. Before the day it is accomplished, and his branch shall not be green. He shakes off his unripe grape like a vine, and throws off his blossom like an olive tree. For the company of the defiled ones is barren, and fire consumes the tent of bribery. They conceive trouble and bring forth wickedness. Even their wombs prepares deception. Chapter 16. And Job answered and said, I have heard many matters like these. All of you are comforters of trouble. Is there an end to words of wind? Or what provokes you that you answer? I might also speak like you if I were in my place. I might heap up words against you and shake my head at you. I might strengthen you with my mouth, and my moving lips might bring relief. If I speak, my pain is not relieved, and if I refrain, does it leave me? But now he has wearied me, and you have stunned all my company. And you have plucked me, and it is a witness. And my failure rises up against me, and it bears witness to my face. He has torn his wrath, and he hates me. He has gnashed at me with his teeth. My adversary sharpens his eyes upon me. They open wide their mouths at me. In scorn they have stricken my cheeks. They mass themselves together against me. El has handed me over to the perverse and cast me into the hands of the wrong. I was at ease, but he broke me, and he took me by my neck and shattered me, and he has set me up for his target. His archers surround me. He splits my kidneys in two and does not spare. He pours out my bile on the ground. He made a breach in me, breach upon breach. He runs upon me like a mighty man. I sewed sackcloth over my skin and laid my horn in the dust. My face is reddened from weeping, and on my eyelids the shadow of death, though no violence was on my hand. And my prayer sincere. O earth, do not cover my blood, and let my cry have no resting place. See, even now my witness is in the heavens, and my defender is on high. My friends are they that scorn me. My eyes pour out tears to Eloah. Oh, that one might plead for a man with Eloah, as a man with his neighbor. When a few years are past, then I shall go the way of no return. Chapter 17. My spirit has been broken. My days have been extinguished. Burial sites are for me. Truly mockeries are with me, and my eyes rest on their insults. Please lay down a pledge for me with yourself, who would strike hands with me. For you have hidden their heart from understanding, therefore you do not exalt them. He who denounces friends for a share, even the eyes of his children shall fail. But he has made me a byword of the people, whereas in former times I was a drum. And from sorrow my eye has grown dim, and all my members are like shadows. Upright ones are astonished at this, and the innocent stirs himself up against the defiled one, and the righteous holds to his way, and he who has clean hands becomes stronger and stronger. But please come back again, all of you, for I do not find a wise one among you. My days have passed by, my plans have been broken off. The desires of my heart, they would turn night into day, saying that light is near in the presence of darkness. If I wait, Sheol is my house. I shall make my bed in darkness. I shall say to corruption, you are my father. To the worm, you are my mother and my sister. Where then is my expectancy? As for my expectancy, who would see it? Would it sink down into Sheol? Would we together go down into the dust? Again, Job's heart here, he's going through it, right? And honestly, again, we all need to understand that he's taking this better than any of us would, especially in the beginning of all this. So, I'm just saying it's relatable. I don't know if any of us have the same story as Job. I doubt it, right? Job was a righteous, completely blameless man. I don't know if any of us can say that these days, but we can practice righteousness as we should. Either way, though, Job was a very good person, and even the Most High says he doesn't deserve what he's going through. And Job's clearly upset with the situation, and his friends have added insult to injury, literally. So, anyways, let's keep reading. Chapter 18. And Bildad the Shuhite answered and said, when do you put an end to words? Understand and let us then talk. Why should we be reckoned as beasts, as stupid in your eyes? You who tear yourself to pieces in displeasure, would the earth be forsaken for your sake, or the rock moved from its place? Indeed, the light of the wrong goes out, and the flame of his fire does not shine. The light shall be dark in his tent, and his lamp beside him is put out. The steps of his strength are impeded, and his own counsel overthrows him. For he is sent into a net by his own feet, and he walks on a pitfall. Right? So much similar stuff to what we just read in our Psalm study. Like David was just talking about how people dig pitfalls for him to fall into, right? So very interesting how there's so many parallels between what we just read in the Psalm study and what we're reading here in Job. Verse 9, the net seizes his heel, a snare prevails over him. A noose is hidden on the ground for him, and a trap for him in the path. Alarms frighten him on all sides, and chase him at his heels. His strength is starved, and calamity is ready at his side. It devours parts of his skin. The firstborn of death devours his parts. He is torn from the shelter of his tent, and they parade him before the sovereign of alarms. In his tent dwells that which is none of his. Brimstone is scattered on his house. His roots below dry up, and his branch is cut off above. Remembrance of him perishes from the earth, and he has no name on the streets. They thrust him from light into darkness and chase him out of the world. He leaves no offspring or descendants among his people, nor any survivors in his dwellings. Those in the west are astonished at his day, and those in the east are frightened. Indeed, such are the dwelling of the perverse, and this is a place of him who does not know El. All right, chapter 19. And Job answered and said, how long would you grieve my life and crush me with my words, or crush me with words? These 10 times you have insulted me. Shamelessly you attack me. Even if I have truly gone astray, my strayings remain with me. If indeed you would exalt yourselves above me and plead against me my reproach, know then that Eloah has overthrown me and has surrounded me with his net. See, I cry violence, but I am not heard. I cry aloud, but there is no right ruling. He has fenced up my way, and I pass not over. And he has placed darkness in my paths. He has stripped me of my esteem and taken the crown from my head. Now, just something that I want to touch on real quick is the fact that we feel in this world that there are no right rulings, right? You look at what's going on, and the wicked are prevailing. The wicked are famous. The wicked are rich. The wicked have everything, right? And it's just like, sometimes you look around and you're like, why? And again, this is a small scale compared to what Job's going through. So not to directly compare, but you can look at the world around you and you can be like, where's the justice? This is all unfair. This is a world full of lies where evil people are the ones that appear to be getting blessed. Even you look at, mainstream believers who are clearly going against the Most High with what they do and what they say. And they're the ones that have large, bustling ministries. Those are the ones that are financially stable and seem like they have no cares in the world. But what we all really need to understand is that the right rulings come at the end of this age, and everything will be made right. And we just have to have faith in that. We have to understand that that's coming, and that this world is unfair and wicked before us, but it's not always going to be that way. And the people that are walking in wickedness, that seem to be the ones that are being blessed in this world, they're not going to be in eternity, right? Their life is this much, right? They get blessed for this much on this earth, what appears to be blessing. There's always curses associated with their blessings of the world, but what appears to be their blessings is this much in the grand scheme of, well, look, what's eternity? A grain of sand on a beach, right? A drop of water in the ocean. That's what it tells us to regard our life as. A mist passing away when the sun rises, right? A breath exiting your body. And that's because we're in this part of eternity. We're in this part. The right rulings come before the big part starts. And his right rulings are going to be poured forth in the world. And these people that seem to be prospering through wickedness, well, they ain't going to be there. They're not going to be there. So you got to have faith in the right rulings and that they're coming. I mean, all of the good men of the Bible did. Yeshua did. The disciples did. They all understood that this world is against us right now, and that the wicked are the ones that have taken and seized power, and we're fighting against the principalities here. So just know that the right rulings are coming, but it is relatable, what Job is saying, how he doesn't see that there's been any right rulings and that violence has taken place against him. And it definitely has. And I think to some level of understanding, we can all relate to that. We've all been through that and understood what Job is feeling like. Hey, where are the right rulings at? They're coming. They're coming. And they're coming in the book of Job too. So, all right. He has stripped me of my esteem and taken the crown of my head. Verse 10. He breaks me down on every side, and I am gone, and uproots my expectancy like a tree, and he kindles his wrath against me, and he counts me as one of his enemies. His companies come together, and they eat and they cast up their way against me, and encamp all around my tent. So he feels like wickedness is just surrounding him. And I mean, why wouldn't he feel that way considering all the stuff that he's just been through? I would certainly feel like no matter which way I turn, there's evil surrounding me. So I get it. He has removed my brothers far away from me, and my friends are completely estranged from me, right? So he feels, again, his friends are turning on him. And I have been in that. I've been in that boat. I do understand what that's like when the people that you think are the ones that'll always be there for you, are the ones that are turning on you. And Job's going through this right now, and many of us have gone through it in our walk. Verse 14. My near ones have fallen away, and my close friends have forgotten me. Those sojourning in my house and my female servants reckon me for a stranger. I am a foreigner in their eyes. I have called my servant, but he gives no answer. I have to beg him with my mouth. My spirit is strange to my wife, and my loving commitment to the children of my own body. Even young children have scorned me. I rise and they speak against me. All my intimate friends loathe me, and those whom I love have turned against me. Right? This is definitely relatable to some extent for all of us, I think. I don't know how you could live in this world where we're appointed mortal sorrow and not experience this at some point in your life. Verse 20. My bone clings to my skin and to my flesh, and I have escaped by the skin of my teeth. Show favor to me. Show favor to me. O you, my friends, for the hand of Eloah has struck me. Why do you persecute me like El does, and are not satisfied with my flesh? Oh, that my words were written down. Oh, that they were inscribed in a book, engraved on a rock with an iron pen and lead forever. For I know that my Redeemer lives. And as the last shall rise over the dust, and after my skin has been struck off, then in my flesh I shall see Eloah, whom I myself shall see on my side, and not a stranger. My kidneys had failed within me. If you say, why do we persecute him, seeing the root of the matter has been found in me? Fear the sword yourselves, for wrath bringing the punishment of the sword, so that you know there is a judgment. Chapter 20. Then, so far, the Namathite answered and said, truly, my thoughts make me respond, even because of my haste within me. I have listened to the reproof which insults me, and the spirit of my understanding makes me answer. You have known this of old, since man was placed on the earth, that the singing of the wrong is short-lived, and the joy of the defiled one is but for a moment, right? Breath passing away. Although his pride mounts up to the heavens, yeah, it does. His head does reach to the clouds. He perishes forever like his own dung. Those who have seen him say, where is he? He flies away like a dream and is not found. He is driven away like a vision of the night. Eyes that saw him do so no more, nor does his place see him any more. His sons seek the favor of the poor, and his hands give back his wealth. His bones shall be filled with his youth, but it lies down with him in the dust. Though evil is sweet in his mouth, he hides it under his tongue. Though he fondles it and does not forsake it, but still keeps it in his mouth. His food is turned into his stomach. The bitterness of cobras is in him. He has swallowed down riches, then vomits them up. El drives it out of his stomach. He sucks the poison of cobras. The tongue of the poisonous snake kills him. He looks on he looks not on the streams, the rivers flowing with honey and cream. He is giving back what he labored for, and he does not eat it. Like wealth from his trade, but he does not enjoy, for he is oppressed. He has forsaken the poor. He has seized the house which he did not build. For he shall not know ease in his innermost, neither save what he desires. There is no leftover after he has eaten, therefore his good does not last. With all his plenty he is in distress. The hand of every laborer comes against him. It shall be at the filling of his stomach that he casts on him his burning wrath, and rains it down on him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, a bronze bow pierced through him. It is drawn and comes out of the body, and the gleaming point comes out of his gall. Fears come upon him. All darkness waits for his treasures. A fire not blown consumes him. It destroys what remains in his tent. The heavens reveal his crookedness, and the earth rises up against him. The increase of his house departs, flowing away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion from Elohim, for a wrong man, and the heritage El has decreed for him. And you know what? Here's the really interesting thing to me about all of this, is that his friends aren't entirely wrong about all the things that they've been saying. They're just directing it in their lack of understanding towards Job. And they're doing it, honestly, at the worst time that you could do it to somebody, when he's already at the lowest point he's ever been ever. They're like kicking him when he's down. But again, like, what his friends are saying are not wrong. They're just not understanding the situation. Then they're not understanding that bad things happen to good people on this earth, and a lot of times to people who don't deserve it. You know, like we're seeing with Job. He doesn't deserve it. The Most High says he doesn't deserve it. Job doesn't think he deserves it. He's like, what am I doing wrong? You know? And his friends are like, oh, you deserve it. You had to have done something, because this is exactly how the Most High treats all these sinners and wicked people. And again, they're not entirely wrong in what they're saying. And that's the interesting thing, right, about all this. So let me see here. We got chapter 21. Let's read one more, and then we'll pick it up from chapter 22 next week. So chapter 21. And Job answered him and said, listen closely to my word, and let this be your comfort. Bear with me, and let me speak, and after I have spoken, keep mocking. As for me, is my complaint against man, and why should I not be impatient? Look at me and be appalled. Then put your hand on your mouth, and when I consider it, I am frightened, and my body shudders. Why do the wrong live, become old, and become mighty in power? Their seed is established with them before their face, and their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are peace without fear, neither is the rod of Eloah upon them. Their bull breeds and does not fail, their cow calves without miscarriage. They send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. They sing to the tambourines and the lyres, and rejoice to the sound of the flute. They spend their days in goodness, and in a moment go down to Sheol. And they say to El, turn aside from us, for we have no desire to know your ways. Who is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit do we have if we pray to him? This is interesting too, because you see this in the prophets. If I'm not mistaken, it talks about this in, I'm pretty sure it's Ezekiel. Right? They say and I could be wrong on that. I don't have this exact place memorized, but I do know it's in the prophets, and it talks exactly like this. It says, you know, the people say, you know, what profit is there in serving you? I think it's also in Malachi, if I'm not mistaken. You know what? Let me try to look it up real quick. I don't like stumbling over my words here. Getting tongue twisted is one thing, but we're not going to stumble over the Bible. So let me see where I can find it. Give me 1 second. Here it is. Okay, this is what I was thinking about. Malachi 3:14. So, wasn't Malachi there. At least I got that part right. Malachi 3:14. You have said, it is vain to serve Elohim. What is the profit of our keeping his charge, or of walking as in mourning before the Most High of hosts? And now do we call the arrogant blessed? Evildoers not only prosper, but they put Yah to the test, and they escape. All right, so again, we're seeing this playing out in other parts of the Bible, right? And that's honestly, like, I'm sure that's how many wicked people feel, that the rich and the famous, the titans of this current world. I'm sure that's how they feel. Like, there's no profit, and so, like, look at all this that I built, that I have, that look at all this power, look at, and they get it through wickedness and corruption and evil. They have no interest in the ways of the Most High, and certainly do they have no interest in suffering in this world. But I think they're going to suffer in the one to come. So, anyways, verse 15. Who is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit do we have if we pray to him? See, is there good not in their own hand? The counsel of the wrong has been far from me. How often is the lamp of the wrong put out, and does come upon them in their calamity? Sorrows he allotted in his displeasure. They are like straw before the wind, and like chaff that the storm steals away. We see that all over the Bible too. You say Eloah stores up one's wickedness for his children. Let him repay him so that he knows it. Let his eye see his destruction, and let him drink of the wrath of the Almighty. For what is his delight in his house after him? And when the number of his new moons is cut off, does anyone teach El knowledge, since he judges those that are exalted? One dies in his perfect strength, completely at ease and satisfied. His pails are filled with milk, and his bones are juicy with marrow. Another one dies in the bitterness of his being, and never eats with pleasure. Together they lie down in the dust, and worms cover them. Look, I know your thoughts, and the plots with which you have wronged me. For you say, where is the house of the noble one? And where is the tent, the dwelling place of the wrong ones? Have you not asked those passing by the way? And do you not know their signs? That the wicked is kept for the day of calamity. They are brought to the day of wrath. Who declares his way to his face, and who repays him for what he has done? As for him, he is brought to the burial site, and a watch is kept over a heap. The clods of the wadi shall be sweet to him, and all men follow him. Innumerable are those before him. How then do you comfort me in vain, seeing that perverseness remains in your answers? So, again, very interesting conversation going back and forth, and it's interesting to see both sides, because again, his friends aren't completely wrong here, but Job's not wrong here either. His friends are definitely misplacing their ideas on him with their lack of understanding. So interesting stuff, relatable, a lot of relatable stuff, and a lot of parallels in other parts of the Bible. A lot of stuff seems to mirror what we just read in Psalms, and in Malachi, and in other parts, the wheat and the chaff. So anyways, I hope you got something out of this study. I hope you found it interesting. If nothing else, it's just good to sit down and read the Bible. So that's what we're doing here together. And for all of you that joined me, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Please continue to keep your brothers and sisters in your prayers. I am not aware of any direct prayer requests at the moment from people, and I haven't received any prayer request updates. But if I do hear any, I'll let you guys know on one of the studies that are upcoming. Again, thank you for joining me on this study through Psalms and trying to understand suffering a little bit better in this life. This is one of the best books of the Bible to understand suffering. So thank you guys. I love you very much. Yah willing, I will see you again next week for another study through the book of Job. If you have any questions, feel free to message me, email me, however you want to get a hold of me. But I love you guys, and may the Most High bless you and keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May he lift up his countenance upon you and give you wonderful peace. In the name of our Messiah, Yeshua. Thank you guys again. Yah willing, I will see you very soon, and I hope you all have a blessed, wonderful week.